Hi, this is Chymera. I'm here in Paris to play a Complex to Deep session with Master Age. It's my second time here in Paris and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just going to answer a few questions now for an interview and I hope you enjoy the interview as well.
You're gonna make a live performance, so?
Yeah. I'm gonna play live. Actually, usually I almost always play live. I used to DJ a lot, but now I've decided to concentrate on playing live because I enjoy making music and I enjoy playing my own music and I enjoy playing live because I can do something a bit more unique, a bit more different than just going up and playing records. I mean, I love DJing. DJing is very important to me, but I think also there's the time because any time that I spend looking for music to DJ with is time that's been taken away from me actually making tunes myself. So this way I can make tunes all week right up until I have to get onto the plane, and then I jump on the plane and then I can play all the tracks that I made if I want, in my live set. So let's go.
And so tonight, I've seen that you are gonna release in few times an album. You're gonna play some new tracks for this album on your live show?
I'm gonna play one or two tracks from it because actually it's more of a kind of a listening experience, the album. So not all of the tracks really work on the dance floor, but I'm going to play one or two tracks from it for sure. Yeah.
All right. And so to talk about this new album, when is it going to be released on what label?
It's going to come out on Connoisseur. I've already worked with Connoisseur two or three times in the past, and they asked me to do the album about a year and a half ago. Just when I moved to Berlin, actually. So I've been working on it for 18 months, and yeah, it's taken a long time, but I'm really happy with it. I literally just finished it this week. We had the mastering session, so it's from the music side, everything's done. Now it's just a matter of finishing up the artwork, photo sessions, sorting out all the promotion and all that kind of stuff as well, So it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to come out in May, probably. And like I said, it's going to be a real listening experience. I worked really hard to make all the tracks fit together properly, and it's something you have to listen to from start to finish.
So about the tracks on your album, did you prepare your album really with each tracks to be on the album, or did you make some tracks and choose after what's going to be on the album?
No, I made the tracks, like in the last 18 months I've been making pretty much all the music I've been making has been made with the album in mind. So I made a lot of music for it, and then I threw away a lot of tracks and I picked out the ones that I liked the best, and I picked out the ones that fitted the best together. And then at the end I was about like 2 or 3 tracks short, and then I made tracks then very specifically for those, just to fill in the gaps in the album. So it was really kind of planned as such from the start. From start to finish, and even when I was making certain tracks I knew, okay, that's the opening track for sure, and this is the closing track, and this one I knew where exactly in the album some of the tracks were going to fit when I was making them. So
okay, and you said about 18 months, but so it comes from summer 2010, yeah. But you released some records in between, and yeah. How about the choice to release them as a EP rather than on the album?
Well, yeah, some of the tracks just kind of worked better as EPs. They just, they're really good tracks, but I think there really should be a big difference between the kind of music that you release on an album and the music that you release on an EP. I mean, generally the music that you release on EPs is really, okay, it's usually aimed completely at the dance floor. It's made easier for DJing and all this kind of stuff, whereas the music I was making or that I've made for the album doesn't really follow the rules of dance floor music. It doesn't necessarily have like beats in the intro and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't have a breakdown or a build up or anything, so that was kind of what decided which, and actually a lot of those tracks that came out towards the end of last year, I'd finished most of them before I started work on the album. So I mean, it takes a while for records to come out, you know.
You made a first album in 2005, and what would be the differences between this one? Okay, it was 7 years ago, but what would be the differences and maybe the common points between these two albums?
Well, the first album that I made, okay, the main difference was that I made it completely on my own and I released it myself, and it was kind of a collection of tracks that I made in the 3 years previous to that. I released it myself on CD only in Ireland, and I sold most of my copies of the CD, but I didn't really print so many anyway. But outside of Ireland, I didn't even really try to sell it. I didn't have any distribution for it. I just did it myself. And I guess listening back to it, I mean, I'm still really proud of the album, but it was very not very well engineered, not very well engineered, I think. But I'm really happy with the tracks still, you know. But they were some of my first tracks, so they were really kind of basic, you know.
And about the music, there was a kind of pop electronica tone on the first one, on some tracks, on down tempo. Is it gonna be the same things for this one?
Some of the tracks are like that, yeah. It's going to be more of a listening experience. But there are some deeper, really deep house, I guess deep house, and maybe even one or two kind of deep techno kind of things. But it's very kind of down tempo. Like the BPMs are all around 110.
Okay.
Yeah.
And still with instruments like guitars.
Well, I used a lot of sampling in this album. That was kind of one of the common things going throughout all the tracks. So I've got sampling from lots of different sources, like from movies and from other music, but making them in such a way that you can't recognize them at all. And also, it's the first time I've worked with vocalists. So there's vocals on 3 of the tracks. There's a friend of mine, she used to live in Barcelona. She did vocals for 1 track, and then 2 girls that I met in Berlin also did vocals on 2 other tracks. So it's going to be something new for me anyway. Yeah.
And okay, the album is not released out for the moment, but do you know already if there's gonna be some traditional records with remixes, things like this?
Yeah, there's in April. The album's going to come out in May, and it's called Death by Misadventure. Okay. And then there's going to be a single called Strange Things Are Afoot, which comes out in April, and it's going to have remixes from Conforce and Claro Intellecto, both two Delson artists. So it's going to, they're going to keep it. Well, actually, they're working on remixes at the moment. They're due to hand them in next week, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm really excited.
Okay, and you got other feeds, other current things to come in that period, other hippies or big parties, festivals, things like this?
Well, I'm working at the moment on 2 or 3 techno tracks, because the whole time I was working on the album, I didn't really concentrate so much on dance floor and on techno kind of stuff. But yeah, I've made some like quite raw techno tracks, so I just want to finish those up and send them out, try and find the right label for them, maybe one of the labels I'm on already or a new one, I don't know. But I've been playing them in my live sets and they're really going down very well, so I know I've got some good tracks there. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I'll get them out, but probably they'll be after the album now, I guess. Probably after the summer, I would say they will come out. And yeah, gigs I'm playing, well, we're about to start organizing the album tour. So and this is around the time when we kind of sort out all the festivals and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be playing like lots of cool places in the summer. We'll see.